Yo, what's up, world? Hey there, ladies and gents. Good to be back here with you. It's been a couple of days, and shout out to all of you guys joining me live here. On that note, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure that little subscription button is pushed. I've been getting messages and seeing people comment around that they've been being unfollowed and unsubscribed from their favorite channels, favorite accounts on their big tech platforms. So make sure you got that subscription button smashed. And make sure you click that little notification bell too. Get alerted anytime I go live here or post any videos. So that's that. And what are we going to be talking about in this one? Friday, October 18th. I can tell you what we won't be talking about. I won't be talking about those Democrat debates. I couldn't care less about those. And rather than listening to it and having my ears bleed, I decided to carve pumpkins instead. Figured that'd be a much better use of my time. So we won't be talking about that, but what will we be chatting about? Update on 8kun. As per Jim Watkins informing us on his YouTube channel. Got an update I'll show you guys on 8kun. Final stretches, man. We're like days, maybe even hours away. We'll also be talking about a ceasefire going on in Turkey. Crazy cartel violence in Mexico. Elijah Cummings is dead. Dark web busts. A lot of other things. Talking about that and more. So let's get started here. And a word from our sponsor in this video here, NOBLEGOLD Investments, helping you invest your money into precious metals, physical metals, or even your retirement fund. They've got great information, free ebooks out there. You can check those in the description. And they also came out with their second edition of the Donald Trump commemorative coin. You can see it there. They've got silver. They've got some gold coins too. But you can check out those pretty coins. And you get a coupon for grabbing two of them, $5 off. Links in the description. And now let's get into talking 8kun. We'll start off there, right? So Donald Trump had his rally last night, and massive rally in Dallas. Holy crap, there were like 40,000, 50,000 people there. More people outside the venue than inside, it looked like. And we had a lot of interesting things said in that rally. He said these people are sick. He, I believe, enunciated the number 17, talking about something. So there's, all those good Q-isms in the rally. And shout out to Liz Crokin. She was there at the rally, and her Q hat made it onto Fox News. And also shout out to Joe M, the Joe fam, the missus, and then Joe M for catching this and tweeting about it. Liz Crokin's Q hat lingering for quite a little while there on Fox News. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And then update on 8kun as well. So this is Jim Watkins' YouTube channel. And I'll link it down below for those of you who just want something easy to click instead of having to search it for yourself. But on that community tab, he posted a little update. Says here, we have been up twice, but those configurations failed. So if many of you have been, waiting, clicking the link, seeing if it would come up. Over the last couple days, it's like come up a couple times, but then went down. 504 error, came up again, and Jim Watkins says a word on that. Expect to see a live version soon, and it says within hours. Within hours, they should be functional. That was 11 hours ago. This obviously isn't an easy thing to do to get this website live with all the attacks it gets and how they need to cross all their T's and dot their I's with it. But within hours, man, it could be this weekend. That's what Jim Watkins was saying. He was shooting for the 17th or the 18th. So today, this weekend, I'm waiting. I am waiting. So let's move on into some things going on internationally. Ceasefire in Turkey. Vice President Pence, Secretary of State Pompeo were over there meeting with the Turkish president and got him to agree to a ceasefire. So good news there. Big win for Donald Trump. And then let's shift to Mexico now. So some crazy things going on in Mexico. I woke up and saw a bunch of videos on Twitter of what's going on there. And essentially what happened is the Mexican National Guard, they captured El Chapo's son. El Chapo was the drug lord that's, arrested and in federal prison here in America. And essentially his sons are taking over the cartel, the drug running business there. And the Mexican National Guard caught El Chapo's son. And the cartels weren't having that. They descended on the Mexican National Guard and it was just a shit show. You can see some of these videos on Twitter of the cartel, like guns ablazing in the city, people in the city taking videos as they're trying to run away. The cartel was stealing a bunch of trucks, stealing a bunch of This article might even have a couple of the videos in it. But the cartel was stealing some trucks too to get out of there. And there was a helicopter firing on some of the cartel in the early morning towards the end of what was going on, and just crazy. And apparently the cartel got El Chapo's son out of there. They busted him out and took him away. So just crazy stuff happening. And also, I've seen some of these videos on Twitter of the freaking guns that these cartel people were using. And they were basically American-made weaponry, like huge, actual assault rifles. I wonder how they got those. Operation Fast and Furious? Wonder if Holder or Obama have anything to say about that. Man. And people don't think we need a wall? Drug smuggling, human trafficking cartels? Like, this stuff needs to be cleaned up. And let's see, what else here? Elijah Cummings dying, all right? So Elijah Cummings dead at the age of 68. This news breaking yesterday. And a lot of unanswered questions about this, man. A lot of unanswered questions about this. We'll get to those. But first I want to highlight the talking points that went out. Because if you go to any single political puppet blue check mark account, even a lot of the media Twitter accounts, and their headlines, it's all the same damn thing. It's the giant. They're calling Elijah Cummings a giant, and they're so creative. Like, look at this. Hillary Clinton, America lost to a giant. Ted Lieu, he was a giant. What do we have here? Kamala Harris, we lost a giant today. Elizabeth Warren, Representative Elijah Cummings was a giant in the House. Washington Post, a giant of integrity. So creative. So creative, man. So you can see their talking points when they go out. Same damn thing. It's all regurgitated PR stuff. But okay, Elijah Cummings, what the heck's going on with him? So they said that he died at Johns Hopkins Hospital, of all places, of health complications or something to that effect. We really got no exact reason. And again, hospice care. Like, he died in hospice care? Didn't Elijah Cummings just 1 week ago sign a subpoena for Rudy Giuliani? Just 1 week ago. And now all of a sudden he's in hospice care and he's passed away. Usually when people are in hospice care, they're there for a little while. All right? And there was no news ever about him going into the hospice in the first place, or him having ill health, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's dead. So, of course, speculations abound with this one. You know, who knows? Did the deep state off him for some reason or another? Was this a killing off his identity in the public so he could escape behind the scenes? Was this some sort of, like white hat op? Was he McCain'd? Did he, I don't know, just sort of give up and start talking and just keel over behind the scenes? I don't know, man. Could be a few of them. Twitter sleuth right here did notice the handwriting. The handwriting on these documents are different. Here's that subpoena for Rudy Giuliani that I mentioned. You can see Elijah Cummings' signature there on the bottom. And then this particular person on Twitter was noticing, in other documents Cummings signed from last year, that signature looks a lot different. You can see that one. And then again, bottom there, Elijah Cummings. September 2019, a lot different from June 2018, a lot different from May 2017. So again, how long was he in this hospice? Was he actually in this hospice? Was Elijah Cummings, I don't know, could we say put into submission some way weeks ago, and they just decided to tell us on all days, being the 17th? I don't know, man. Just saying. A lot of unanswered questions with this one. A lot of unanswered questions. Was he McCain'd? Was he sacrificed? Who knows? But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about that dark web bust. Feds taking down the world's largest cache on the dark web of, we'll call it CP. World's largest cache of CP. There was some 200,000 videos. 200,000. Some reports saying 250,000. 8 terabytes of data all on this stash, on this marketplace. So this is a massive bust when it comes down to taking down that sort of worldwide slot, being, child porn, child sex abuse, human trafficking worldwide. Huge bust. They arrested the South Korean ringleader, basically, and there was over 300 arrests internationally stemming from this. And I'm sure a huge cache of data has fell into the federal investigators' hands with this one. So again, huge news, very good news. And on that same sort of topic, there's another story going around claiming to be a bust of human traffickers and a freeing of children. That is this one right here. So I've seen this one go incredibly viral the past few days. I have some important questions to ask about this one. A lot of people are assuming it's true, and I don't want you to think it's automatically true. You know, there's some very important questions that we have to ask, and in my opinion, I'm not seeing enough that leads me to believe that it is true. I'm getting like the, clickbaity sort of fake news vibes from this one. Basically, I'm shuffling in this one in the need more evidence drawer before I believe it. Let me tell you why. So here's the claim. Here's the story. Navy SEALs and Marines and Special Forces, a part of this alleged Pentagon pedophile task force, I think it was being called. The claim is they rescued 2,100 children from underground bases and bunkers in California. And this claim comes from Timothy Holmseth. Here's the YouTube video he uploaded. You can see it's already got 70,000 views plus. And quick 3-minute video. He said this. I think a few other people in the alternative media sphere sort of parroted it. But I'm seeing, again, no other corroborating stories, corroborating pieces of information brought to light to confirm this. Okay, all I'm seeing is just the claims. And not just that, but the claims are weird. So this guy says that the leader of this alleged Pentagon pedophile task force is his source in the Pentagon for this story. He's claiming that my source at the Pentagon, the leader of this task force, told me these claims. So here they are. Come on. If this is a Navy SEAL operation, they're not going to leak that. And they're not going to leak that to, sort of a online independent journalist. It's just weird. Really weird to me. That doesn't add up. And not just that, but 2,100 children, that's a lot of children, man. And again, why wouldn't we get some sort of report or video or some sort of something like this being happen? I mean, 2,100 kids is a lot to put into care and to care for. And none of this is somehow gotten out in some other ways. I don't know. This is just weird to me. And a lot of people are messaging me and replying to my stuff saying, oh, this Timothy Holmseth guy, like half the people are calling him a shill and half the people that are talking to me about him are calling him credible. So it's like half and half. Frankly, I've never heard of the guy before, so I'm like coming into this as an unbiased source, having zero familiarity with him, and I'm not listening to what anybody else says. I'm just simply looking at the claims, guys. That's what you have to do in the proper discernment process. Proper discernment is looking at the claims and trying to find corroborating evidence. And here the claims are weird, seeing nothing corroborating, so be careful. Don't just share this as if it's the truth. Be the good thinker. I know you guys are. So that's the story on that. Couple more things. One being Department of Justice obtaining cell phones of central figure at the origin of the Russia probe. That central figure is Joseph Mifsud. They got his cell phones, man. They got his Blackberries. And Mifsud's the guy that was essentially tasked to spy on General Michael Flynn and George Papadopoulos. So this is big time stuff. This answers the question as to why Attorney General William Barr went to Italy a few weeks ago on a spur-of-the-moment trip. Really hush-hush, like, what was that for? William Barr probably got those Blackberries. Probably got them. So this means, with this happening, with Attorney General Barr personally getting the cell phones getting into the oversight of the Department of Justice, and General Michael Flynn's lawyer, Sidney Powell, filing in his case that the DOJ has obtained these phones and they contain the exculpatory evidence for Michael Flynn. Whoo! That's big time stuff. That leads me to believe that we are, number one, near the vindication of General Flynn. About time. Number two, getting seriously towards the end of this FISA, of the investigations and towards the prosecutions. If Attorney General Barr has a cell phone, that means John Durham, prosecutor, has the cell phones in the evidence, right? So a lot of huge things about to line up. You know, it's probably why they delayed the FISA Inspector General report. In my eyes, it was probably never supposed to be released today. It's supposed to come out today. It's probably never supposed to happen today in the first place. That was just some sort of moves and counter moves. And we'll see that a report come out with, you know, a lot more evidence come out up till then. Very planned, I'm sure this all is. So that's good news. And then last thing, totally going to shift the topic of conversation here. This has really been a very political video, but I want to talk about the pharmaceutical industry, health, for a quick sec, because this news report came out yesterday, and it's made its way into the mainstream media, actually, surprisingly enough for me. I have an idea as to why, but this news report saying that 95% of tested baby foods in the U.S. contain toxic metals. That's according to a new report. Now, again, this is getting circulated around. It's in the mainstream media. First of all, I'm not doubting the veracity of this. Totally, 95% of baby foods have toxic metals. I don't doubt that at all, When you realize the synthetic nature of many of the ingredients used in baby foods, and not just baby foods, but nutritional products, period. A lot of synthetic ingredients. A lot of these synthetic ingredients come from overseas. So yeah, totally, man. You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful with the food you get, even in the natural health food realm. It's a lot of just junk out there. But the fact that this is making it into the mainstream media, I have a keen eye on this, because I think they could be sort of putting out stories such as this to shift the blame away from vaccines causing autism to it being other things, Easy 1-2, easy slippery slope for them to start saying, oh, it's the heavy metals in the baby foods and the asbestos in the baby powder that Johnson & Johnson makes. It's all these things causing autism. It's not the vaccines over here. So easy way they could sort of shift the public blame and then brush what's going on with vaccines under the rug. So, but I mean, it's good news that this is getting exposed, but heavy metals come from many other sources as well, and other sources that they don't want to admit that are harming us. So that's that, guys. That's all I have for you in this one. Went through Akun, should be up soon. We've got things going on worldwide with war, both good and bad, and then coming towards the end of, that FISA IG report coming soon. So anyway, if you guys appreciate the work I do here on YouTube and on Twitter and other social media platforms and whatnot, subscribe to Patreon. I invite you to. I encourage you to. You get some exclusive stuff there, like giveaways and weekly podcasts, weekly live chats, and what else. And then go to my website too, jordansather.com. Subscribe to the newsletter, totally free. Just enter in your email, and you can find all my social medias on there. You can find blog, shop, everything else too. So take care, everybody. That's all for this one. Be back soon. Done.